Hello, everyone. Welcome to Cosmic Weather for June 2022. We're halfway through 2022. What is going on? Okay, so this month's message did hit me like a ton of bricks, and I'm very excited to deliver it to you today. So I hope you enjoy. Of course, if you feel like this resonates with you, if you want other people to know what the cosmic weather is for this upcoming month, please share. I always appreciate it. Before we get started, just a couple housekeeping items that I want to let you know. If you wanted to take Fabric of the Universe, but maybe you didn't get a chance, that is available on my website. And so the link will be in the description box or the show notes, depending on where you're listening. Second thing, the White Rabbit is also available. Those are the newest classes that I have available for you if you want to do some shopping, if you feel called to do some work with me on time, the quantum field, frequency, emotion, all of that good stuff. The second order of business is I have a new mastermind starting in July. So this is called Clean the Mastermind, and it is all about clean frequencies. So cleanliness in terms of what you're holding and embodying energetically is what makes things move fast. So recently, cleanliness has kind of become, or not kind of, it really has become the overarching context of my life. And so having a clean energetic body, a clean emotional state, a clear point of focus, clear desires, uninterrupted, uninhibited desires is what has allowed me to move much faster with a lot of things than I ever have before. And so this is a container of clarity, of high speed, pure desires where you are just flowing effortlessly towards what you want. So the cleanliness and the ability to access that clean and clear point is what gets things moving fast. So that is my intention for everyone inside. It's going to be amazing. You have 5 beautiful, life-changing months with yours truly. And so if you feel the ping to apply, this is an excellent way to work with me. Okay. Now getting into the weather, let me tune in for a second. So the word that came through most dominantly for this month is the word revelation. I was sitting in bed and I was like, oh, this is it. It was showing me light bulbs, ahas. There's an energy in June that is very clarifying for things that have happened previously. June is going to bring you information, insight, wisdom, clarity, further information that feels like a breath of fresh air. It's the aha, oh, that's why that happened. Oh, that's why that turned out that way. Oh, that's why I didn't get that job, or oh, that's why things have been stalled out. It doesn't necessarily have to do with anything you've been disappointed about or frustrated by, but a lot of the time when we are in the middle of some type of situation that we don't necessarily have a full, broad point of view about, we have to actually see the story through in order to access that clarity. June is delivering on all of this. So this is tying up a lot of loose ends, seeing the rest of the story unfold, or seeing twists and turns that all of a sudden make sense to you. So I wouldn't go as far as to say you need to trust June, because it's not anything more than you're watching the unfolding happen in real time. It is already going to come to you. It's a natural evolution of what was already going to happen anyway. But questions that you've been holding before, situations that you didn't understand before, will make sense in June. So this is the exciting part. This is why I'm so pumped about this message, is that this doesn't have anything to do necessarily with skill building. I mean, we're always kind of doing that, but that's not actually the focus of June. June is a month of you get clarity, you get answers, you get inspiration, you get the ahas, you get all of the wisdom and information that you want, desire, and in some cases need, right? Because sometimes we do kind of need that in order to settle into our body a little bit more, and that information can be helpful. So wherever you're at with any of this, June is an extension of the unfolding story where there was a cliffhanger that occurred at some point. So it's kind of like you finished a really epic story. You finished a great book and you're like, well, what's going to happen? What is the next part of this story? And you have the beginning of that sequel coming. You have that next chapter of a fresh book. You didn't know where the cliffhanger was going to go. You had no clue what was going to happen. And now you're seeing all of that information, the rest of the story click into place. So get excited about June for nothing more than watching your story unfold. And the interesting thing about all of this is that if you can allow yourself to simply get excited about the story, get excited about the unfolding, get excited by life constantly revealing to you, it is going to give you so much more pleasure in how all of this goes. The nice thing about June as well, the other piece of this, what I'm getting is that there's an energy of business as usual. So the good thing about this is we're not talking about what was going on in April where it was go big or go home. Jump, do the wild thing because you were supported in that. I mean, you always are, right? But that's actually not the primary context of June. June is do what you've been doing. Be in the practices that you've been practicing, hone your skills, do all of the things business as usual, and things will continually unfold. There is no radical action that is required of you in June. Aligned choices are aligned choices. That's fantastic. But in terms of the broad collective the collective context that I'm reading for June, that might not even be something that presents itself to you in June. Of course, I'm reading for so many different people that it's going to have a lot of diversity. But if you can approach June from business as usual, I'm just excited to see where this story goes. June is going to treat you very, very well. And keep in mind, we're not even getting excited about a manifestation necessarily. You're not even getting excited for something specific. This is just getting excited for the unfolding itself, a deeper understanding and clarity. Do you know how powerful it is for you to actually hold an energy of, I am excited for deeper understanding, or I'm excited for the revelation of this. I'm excited to see what is actually going to happen next. That is a powerful position to be in because you are not attaching to anything that's conditional, yet you're still holding this really clean frequency as a result. And so there's deep energetic mastery around being able to conjure an emotion about something that is unconditional in nature. So if you expect, I am going to receive inspiration, insight, ahas, the next chapter, the next part of this unfolding, whatever that looks like, it could be as simple as an idea. It's not something that is based in material. This is why this message hit me like a ton of bricks. It was, there it is. This has been in front of my face the whole time. And now I actually have access to it. And the other thing that I want to reassure you about, this has nothing to do with devastating information. So if you are currently experiencing anxiety about, oh no, Sydney is saying that There's going to be some revelation that comes in June. This is always going to be in the context of serving you. That's how God works. That's how your higher self works. That's how the universe works. It's here to serve you. So this isn't about heart-crushing, Three of Swords kind of revelations. That's not what's happening this month. This is clarifying, understanding, feeling more stable in terms of information, having this continuity of the story. That happened then, and now this is happening now, and it is bringing continuity to why and how all of this unfolded and how this is setting me up for the future and what is oncoming next. This is jet fuel in the form of, it is mental body jet fuel. So one of the things that probably hasn't been settling in for many of you is you might know spiritually that there's a bigger purpose, but your mental body has had to sit in timeout. And it's like waiting for the goods. Your mental body is like, but I want to know why. I want to know the details. I want to know more information about all of this. I want to understand on a logical mental body level why and how. What's the purpose? What's the reason? What's all this about? When we're going through different transformations, when we're in different growth periods, we don't always get the luxury of having the mental body on board. That's what June is doing. June is like, here's all of this stuff that is actually going to bring it home with your mental body. And so there is integration that's happening in June as a result of all of this revelation that's happening, because the experiences that you were having before on perhaps an emotional level or a spiritual level, different dimensions of yourself that have been, I get it, but I don't know all the details or the why. Now there's going to be harmonizing between what was happening for you spiritually and emotionally, and now your understanding of it mentally. And that is just such a sweet spot to be in, to be able to have the full picture of everything. So yes, this is what June is really delivering. It's the full picture. It's outline and color. It's all the information. And there is such a sense of peace that comes along with that. So I'm very, very, very excited for all of you when it comes to June, because it's giving you that full color picture. The practical application of what wants to come through for June, stay with me, I'll get there. There is going to be better results. I'll put it that way. You will get better results in June if you primarily focus on unconditional manifestation. So when I'm saying conditional manifestation, I'm talking about a 3D change in circumstance. June wants you to shift your focus outside of the material, the physical, the circumstantial manifestations, and instead go unconditional with it first, because you will end up going a lot faster. Do not take score in June of your creations. Do not. June is not the time to say, I've been meditating every day, now where's my stuff? Don't do that, because you are going to move a lot faster if you are in a position where you are exclusively focusing on the unconditional pieces, being Things like emotions, daydreams, fantasies, feeling excitement, feeling anticipation, feeling clarity, feeling ease, feeling joy, feeling peace. Even if these moves seem micro to you, this is what June is asking of you. And I also want to emphasize this is a completely different skill set. Okay, it is something that is a new muscle, a completely different muscle, saying, see how much pleasure you can receive from simply the feeling of clarity? Or how much can you celebrate feeling more relaxed about money? Don't even worry about the money in the bank yet. No. You do not want to treat June as a month where you are focusing on money in the bank. Don't even go that far. Goal setting in June, make it outside of the 3Ds. So if you're going to focus on something like, let's say you want more money. June is saying, focus on feeling relaxed about money. That is a better and more energetically sophisticated goal that you should aim at, rather than, I want X amount of dollars this month. This is going to train you to focus more on the energetics and emotions, which are actually what you want to focus on primarily, because that's everything. We know this. This is standard. How would it feel if? Okay, now do that. We know this. This is the bread and butter of manifestation work, correct? So this is why goal setting in June needs to be done, or it's recommended, it's advised, it's advisable, it behooves you to focus on unconditional goal setting. And if you are going to have any points of, if you're going to aim at anything in June, see what happens when you make it emotional. A better thing to ask in June is not, what do I want to get, but how do I want to feel? And do your best to make it a really core emotional basis. Like for me, what do I want to feel? I want to feel security. I want to feel ease. I want to feel effortlessness. I want to feel desired. I want to feel aliveness. I want to feel certain. Those emotional goals or intentions that I've just set for June, you can imagine, well, what happens? What else is going to be compatible with certainty, with being secure, with being clear, with effortlessness and certainty? What does that mean? If I'm embodying certainty and I'm focused on the feeling of certainty, well, then everything else immediately becomes available to me. Because if I'm practicing certainty, there can be no question and doubt cannot exist. Certainty and doubt are radically different. They live on opposite ends of the spectrum. And so if all of a sudden I am working my energetic and emotional fields in order to stay in this zone of certainty, then this is just giving me a radical boost of power. So this is deep work. And even though when it comes to the practical stuff, it is so business as usual. Do your thing. Enjoy your life. Eat your breakfast. Go to work. Normal. The emotional, the energetic is wildly fluid. Things are going to drop in a lot faster with this unconditional practice. And so anytime your mind is going to But where's my stuff? Where's my proof? Where's my evidence? That's an indication that you've fallen off track with this deeply profound and supportive skill set that you can develop in June if you so choose. Now remember, there's going to be two different camps. Some of you really like to apply the teachings and you go deep with me. Some of you like that. That's why I said, well, there's always an opportunity to develop a skill set even deeper. There is going to be another group of you that really just wants to chill in June. Like, let everything reveal itself to you. Just go with the flow. Approach it as business as usual and everything will come. That is perfectly fine. But if you want to get into the nitty-gritty, energetic work, then take the approach of focusing on what is the emotion that I want to make dominant in June. That will change your life. For sure, without a doubt. If you can pick an emotion that you like and practice it, practice actively conjuring it completely absent of conditions. Then you're unstoppable. So this is where you have options. You have different approaches that you can take to June, and none of them are wrong. The ahas, the light bulbs, the clarity, that's coming no matter what. You're going to get the loose ends tied up. You're going to experience the rest of the information. That next chapter of the book is happening. Whether you like it or not, it's coming. A new book begins in June. Not just a chapter, a book. A new one, a fresh one. Oh, it's going to smell so good. So that is what you have to look forward to. It's just a matter of how deep do you want to take your personal energetic practice in June? That's a different question. Because some of you, I'm thinking of a friend of mine who's traveling right now. If you're tired, rest. Business as usual. Do your thing. Chill. Like, you don't have to take this super deep, but if you already feel set in your life, go deeper. You can. You know, if you want to take this in real application, in real energetic mastery, you absolutely can. That's what June is offering you. Many of you are needing fun. Like when I say need, I don't use that word lightly. You need fun. Like, play is critical in June because it's going to add levity to your life. And this is something that often gets put on the back burner. I would say play and pleasure in the current paradigm, if you will, the normal human paradigm that we're living in right now. It's usually work and responsibility front and center. Yeah, we know that. Pay your bills. We get it. But pleasure and play, don't put those on the back corner. Or on the back burner. Don't let them start collecting dust. Don't ignore them. Don't just say, to hell with play and pleasure. Why don't I just do my QuickBooks instead? It's one of those things where you will actually feel yourself have more energy and more of a desire to live a full life when it comes to everything else that you have to get done, which isn't true, by the way. That's always a want to. I remind people it's you want to pay your bills and you want to have everything taken care of and you want to avoid late fees, right? That's a desire. If you can get into that habit of reframing that, it will help you with all of this. But this is not, you are not going to regress into a child who is not focused on responsibilities at all, just for prioritizing play and fun and pleasure a little bit more. It seems like a lot of people are afraid that things are going to bottom out if they take a little time, or if they stop what they're doing and they do something enjoyable instead, or if they try something new, or if they invest a little bit in a hobby that they've always wanted to try. And this is the month to see what happens when you actually emphasize play. Just 5%. 5%. What happens if you take 5% of your day and you just try to make it fun? It's 5%. It's not very much. What happens? This is going to create energetic shifts that I don't think you're expecting or anticipating. That's the fun part. It's going to bring more surprises. Because then the question is, what's an energetic match for fun? What's an energetic match for play? What's an energetic match for pleasure? This is the next question that is fun to ask. Because if, like I said before, what's an energetic match for certainty? What's an energetic match for stability and security? Stable money, consistent money, stable love, consistent love, communication. Right? You get the sense of there is more to this game that we're playing. June wants you to get out of specifics almost completely. Play with generality in June. Many of you will experience healing through play. I'm serious. If you play more, it will change the game for you. I promise you that. Like, this is not something that is a frivolous waste of time, because the next question is, what is an energetic match for play? What's an energetic match for fun? What do you think will happen to all of the stuff that feels like a lead weight strapped to your ankle if you are now adjusting yourself to focus more on fun? What happens? You're adding all of this levity to everything else because that's what you are tuning yourself to. So when I'm presenting this, it is somewhat experimental. Many of you might have a lot of reservations around that idea, or fun. What would I even do for fun? So this is something to contemplate, ask yourself, put it on the calendar. Put it on the calendar. Do something that you have always loved or you've always wanted to try, whether it be something new or something that you've been doing for years. No matter what, put it on the books. Put it on the calendar. See what happens. Use it as an experiment. Get back to it, because the good thing about energetics is that it bleeds into everything else. So when you are focusing on something, I'm sure you've had this, if you have a crappy day, then everything that you look at kind of feels poisoned. And so the opposite is also true. This is the power of focusing on energetics rather than specific 3D stuff. And this is also going to just help you break out of any other human desires for you to have all the information ahead of time. Instead, it's let me just loosely and generally feel into this thing that just feels good, like play. If I feel into play, what happens? If I feel into security, what happens? If I feel into this zone, what happens? So you can use June as a way to just run experiments. Like, just focus. Oh, this is a good practice. This will be your homework for June. Let's say on Sundays or Mondays, whenever you like to start your week, whatever that is for you, pick a word, pick a feeling word. And make it a feeling. I'm really adamant about that. Not money. I want to feel money. No, because there's a bunch of baggage associated with that. Pick a feeling state word for each week and just practice conjuring it on demand as often as you can and see what happens, or doing things that trigger it and light it up. And then focus on a word each week and see what happens. That's going to be so much fun. Really, really pick words that you would like to feel more. And just, I'm going to focus on this for a week. I'm going to focus on this for a week. And just do that, whether it be in contemplation, meditation, different practices, embodiment work, whatever you want to do. Whatever. The sky isn't even the limit with that. So do whatever you want in order to bring up the feelings. And again, that's a whole other muscle. It's a muscle. Being able to say, I desire to feel this way, and I'm going to find ways and avenues for me to access that feeling. That's a skill. It is a powerful tool for you to have. So that would be a really fun homework for you to do, just for funsies. And then if you like it, you can keep going with it. You can do it every week if you want. Or every month. You can have a monthly word where you just want to feel this more. And that is a creative practice, an emotional practice. It's going to take you in some directions that you don't expect. And that is a wrap for June's cosmic weather. I appreciate you all so much. Thank you. If you feel called to leave a comment, send me a message, leave a wonderful, exceptional, amazing review on iTunes or Spotify, I would certainly appreciate it. If this resonates or you feel like someone else should have this information, send it their way. I always appreciate the shares. And of course, if you want to apply to Clean the Mastermind, where we are just going deep into energetics, as always, that's my jam, that's my thing. And keeping really clean, refined frequencies for a whole 5-month container with me. We'll go through November together. It's going to be awesome. If you feel called to that, go ahead and apply. Now is the time. And if you would like any other classes, Fabric of the Universe, The White Rabbit, anything that your heart desires, the links will be in the description box below or in the show notes. And I will talk to you beautiful people next time. Have an amazing June. I cannot wait to see what happens for you. Bye, everyone.